So here's how to add different fonts to all of your Adobe applications. So you just want to go to the Finder, and then you're going to go to Applications, and you're going to find Adobe Creative Cloud. You're going to open Adobe Creative Cloud, and then underneath there's like a lot of functionality in Adobe Creative Cloud, but what we're going to talk about is just talk about the Adobe fonts. So find that under More Apps from Adobe. You're going to click on that, and it's going to open up your Adobe library, your Adobe font library in a window. In order to search different fonts, you can use the search tool at the top up here. You can search by foundries. You can search by font packs, which is going to show kind of how people have used different combinations of fonts, which is kind of a neat thing to look at. Recommendations, it's going to be like what Adobe thinks might be a good choice for a specific thing. And you're going to look for Browse All if you just want to look at all the different ones. If you want to use a filter, there's different filters you can use over here. So you can choose by language. You can choose by font type. So if I have fonts added already to my library, I can click on that, and it's going to show me the fonts that I have specifically added to my library. I can click on my favorites if I have anything that's favorited. If there's fonts that you like to use a lot of the time, you can favorite them, and I'll show you how to do that. Under font technology, if I click variable fonts, it's going to show different classifications of fonts. So say for instance you're looking specifically for a sans serif font, you could click on sans serifs. If you're looking for maybe a sans serif and a slab serif, you could put those both on, and you'd be able to search all those different ones. And then say I'm looking for a serif font, again, so on and so forth. So depending upon the specific type of font, if you know the classification, you can do it there. I'm going to turn that off. And now under tags, tags are just different things that Adobe has created, kind of like, I guess, to represent specific types of fonts you may be looking for. Like if you're looking for something in a horror genre, it's got some fonts related to that. It'll have like ornamental fonts if you're looking for specifically something that's ornamental, and if you're looking for like calligraphy fonts, it'll have those, so on and so forth. Not really necessary. Classifications, I think, is probably going to be the most useful for you. If you're looking for anything specific, that's probably going to be what you're going to want to look for there. And then if you're looking for any specific weights, you can do that down here. Number of fonts in a family. If you want specifically to look at fonts that have like 20 different fonts within that family or so, you can put that number here, and it'll give you a specific number of fonts that have that. And then you can look by height, X height, you can look by contrast. All of these things we haven't even really talked about yet. So I wouldn't really worry about that at this point. So what I would suggest you do is maybe go to recommendations or font packs and just look at some different fonts and how they were used. This particular font pack is called Psychic Waves. And they used these different fonts within this pack. You can add the entire pack if you want. It's going to add all of the fonts related to it, and all of the different family fonts that are related to each one of the specific fonts. Let's go back and let's just do Browse All at the moment. Let's take a look at, okay, we'll just do this first one, Amafer. So I'm going to remove it because I already have it added. If I want to add the entire family, all I have to do is click on this particular button, and it's going to add all of them to every one of your Adobe products that you use, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, whatever. If you want to see specific fonts within that family, if you click on the name of the font, it's going to open it up. This also, by the way, tells you who the foundry was, the people that made the font. So if you want to look by foundry, if you've found several fonts that maybe you think are cool, and there's a foundry that you would like to see, you can click on the foundry, and it's going to show you all the fonts that foundry has listed in the Adobe library. So anyway, let's go back here. So if I look through the different font categories within this family, I'll see that there's like, you know, an italics, a regular, a medium italics, a bold italic, so on and so forth. If I want to see those as a list, which I kind of prefer doing that, I just click the list view and it's going to scroll through that. If you want to see it as, right now it's listed as the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, which is kind of a design sentence that people use. It shows every single alpha character within the font family from A to Z, but it's just written in different words, so you can see the way that it's going to have spacing and things like that. Also, you know, caps, what are the caps going to look like? If you want to see what it's going to look like as all caps, then you could switch to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's going to show you the entire alphabet as cap characters. You can also look at the different numbers and special characters if you wish to by clicking on this one. But most of the time I just leave it set to the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And to add specific ones, let's say for instance I want to add the medium font, I can click on for medium and it'll add it. If I go at that point, if I feel like I'm done, that's the only one I want to use, then I could go back to Photoshop or whatever program I'm using and I could open that font up. But I'm going to go ahead and add the family just because I want to show you how that's going to look when you go into your Adobe product. So we'll head back over to Photoshop and I'm going to add a piece of text. If I hit T on the keyboard, that is going to take you to the text tool. You can just click and it's going to populate a box with text. I can then click on my move tool or my selection tool and I can increase the size of my font box. That's going to keep it within proportion. It's not going to stretch the font or do anything weird to the font because right now we still have it set as a text object. I want to select my text tool again, so I can either click on it in my tool palette or I can hit T, my tool window, or I can hit T and it's going to take me to the tool. I want to select it. I want to come up to the top and I want to find my font. Right now I have this set to Ampher Bold, which is the font that I'm looking at. And if I click this little caret on the left hand side of the font, you'll be able to see it's going to open up all of the different weights of that particular font. I'm going to move this over so that you can see when I scroll through this, it's going to show me what each of those looks like. So if I'm looking for something maybe specifically for a header, I might want to use like a bold, and then I can maybe make the size a little bit smaller, and then I can adjust where the placement is by just moving the font around and finding the middle point. It should pop into place when it's centered. Okay. So let's say I want to create another line, but I want to use maybe a different font from that particular family. I'm going to click and I'm going to go to Ampher, and maybe this time I'm going to use, let's say, Ampher italic medium. Okay, and I'm going to then place that as a subhead maybe underneath my font, my heading, and there we go. Now I'm using the same font family, but I have two different representations of that font family. That's basically all you need to know about putting fonts into your Adobe products. That's going to be the quickest, easiest way for you to look through fonts and to figure out which ones that you may want to use.